I'm 63.
Okay.
What's the deal?
I'm 45. I look like your uncle. I mean, you look good, man. You look fantastic. You look like a rock star. First of all, Rick, real quick.
Yeah.
Do you mind telling us your age? Because
I'm 63.
okay,
What's the deal?
I'm 45. I look like your uncle. I mean, you look good, man. You look fantastic.
Oh, thanks.
You still look like a rock star.
Yeah, I think, music, I think, arrested adolescence and all that,
Yeah, I mean, like Billy Joel, still unbelievable in concert, but he looks like an accountant. You know what I mean? Like you, Springsteen, some of the guys, the Jaggers pulling it off. You still got the hair and.
Yeah, that has a bit to do with it,
Yeah, no, it's good stuff.
All the old English rock stars seem to keep their hair.
That's
Go
true.
figure.
The new album out, Songs for the End of the World.
Yeah.
And it comes out today.
It's out today, yeah.
And you got a documentary coming out, Affairs of the Heart.
Affair of the Heart. Yeah, it's a documentary about my relationship with the fans. It's actually really cool. It's got some pretty amazing stories, pretty shocking stories of some of these fans have been with me for 30+ years. I mean, it's been a few years.
It's a really interesting career. I mean, you were part of like a great music scene. Like you were part of the same music scene like Bon Scott came out of in the 70s.
Yeah. I was actually in the rival band to Bon.
Really? Was that
Australia.
Zoot?
Yeah,
No.
I was in a band called Zoot, and Bon was in a band called the Valentines, and we dressed kind of the same. And Bon was actually the second singer. He was, he'd stand in the back. It was a teeny bopper band.
Oh, okay.
And he'd stand in the back and clap.
It's weird with that voice,
Oh
man.
man, I know. And then like 8-10 years later, I suddenly hear this voice coming out of this guy and go, "Who the hell is that? The Bon?"
No, it's like a teeny bopper. Like out of nowhere in the middle of a teeny bop song, you just hear high voltage. But and then you get you're a soap opera star, and then you get back into rock music with one of the biggest iconic hits of all time. You tour,
and those two things sort of happened at the same time in
Yeah, they did,
1981,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah,
so-
it was it wasn't anything planned. I mean, they tried to do it again with other guys, but I was a musician first, and then kind of fell into the acting, in between between record deals.
the best stuff is never planned.
But
Yeah, I know.
you actually improved the ratings of the soap opera, they said, because of the popularity of your band, right?
I mean, I was one of the one of the reasons, but it was definitely a group effort. I mean, that's the trouble with soaps. There's like 40 freaking characters on the shows.
Dan, who is this character? Dan, he'll take the bait. Dan, come on. Who do you play, Dan?
Come on, Dan.
Come on, Dan.
Blackie.
5, 4, 3.
I can't
No,
remember.
that was
John Stewart.
Yeah.
We have something in common in the sense that, and it's not great hair.
voice.
You're a pretty dark guy, and you've been to some dark places where I would assume a lot of great songwriters are from. I mean, you were suicidal at one point.
Yeah, 16, I tried to hang myself, actually.
Now, I mean, listen, I've had a suicide attempt myself, and it's like, I mean, but at 16, yeah, man, we're here, brother.
We're still here,
I don't know. I twisted my ankle in high school. I was really depressed about that. And,
You're such a dark guy.
No, but at 6, he is, believe me. But
I have no idea. I just don't have the balls to try.
At 16, how do you recover from that, man? Because that's a hard place to go and get back to,
Yeah, I was pretty in a pretty bad way. I was failing at school, and that was the only arena that I was in.
Right, yeah.
Really, it was, it's like failing at work. It's like I was failing in life. And I was just miserable. I was very, stayed home a lot and felt just like I didn't belong, And one day it just got to me, and I ran out to the shed, and I was expert at making nooses. I was a pretty dark kid. I used to make guillotines, full-size guillotines.
Well, you know what? Thank God you're not better at it.
I was pretty good at making a noose. It didn't stay on the rafters.
Great.
I'm
No,
not
that's
trying to
good
be
news.
funny here, but every time I hear somebody tries to hang, I go, everybody knows how to make a noose. I don't know how to make a noose.
Well, yeah. Well, I was in jail for a while, and there were guys, who hung themselves in
Yeah,
jail. And I actually
yeah.
talked to a guard about that, and they're like, yeah, a lot of them are failed attempts because they do a half-assed job of it.
Yeah, well,
but those are guys you might want dead. Thank God Rick
exactly.
is here.
It was it came untied, and I mean I meant I meant it. But,
You meant to do it.
yeah, and it was I'm very fortunate. I mean, it definitely changed. I felt like I was here for some reason.
Right.
Though I wouldn't advise that.
No,
you know,
yeah, you don't
I
go
wouldn't
down
advise
that
tempting the
path.
fates to find out if you're here for a reason. It was so it gave me a I took a solid direction after that.
And look at the life you led. Oh my God, it's just it's
how
so
did you
interesting.
get? How did you get out of that dark spot? I mean,
It's still there. I mean,
it helps your music and your art.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
right.
I wrote a autobiography, and what I found out doing that was that I believe in yin yang. I believe this with every horrible thing comes the seed of something great. You just got to go find it, and I think it's my songs come from.
Well,
that place.
your new song, I Hate Myself, I'm a one-man wrecking crew, self-destructive.
Yeah.
I mean, so you're still having those thoughts. You're writing about them, obviously.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely. And it's amazing. We do that one live. It's amazing how the audience gets into that one.
Yeah, no, a lot of people relating to what's going on. Absolutely.
The title of the new album, sort of a hint, songs for the end of the world. But
it's a very energetic up album. I mean, the songs. The first one starts out as called "Wide Awake," and it's a very positive song. But it's kind of tongue in cheek. The songs for the end of the world. I mean, there's 4 covers, and one of them's a Mayan calendar cover. So. But I mean, we are living in some pretty freaking
dark times.
Yeah, it's dark subject matter, but it's a great pop song. It's got a hook and all the things an executive wants.
Well, Jesse's Girl is a dark song. It was something I didn't get.
Yeah.
And Don't Talk to Strangers. There's sexual paranoia, about my girlfriend cheating. I mean, they all come from. I couldn't write. I always say I couldn't write "Don't Worry, Be Happy" because that's.
But doesn't it seem like women seem to be the theme of all these dark? The Stones seem to write about nothing but women and the blues they give you.
Yeah, it's a big talking point. I mean, my first album, Working Class Dog, was all about basically trying to get laid. I mean, it's all about getting laid.
That's horrible, Rick.
But as you get older, other things crop up. But the relation. This album is really actually all about relationships. But it's I guess it's my view of relationships. It's not a 30-year-old anyway.
Right.
Let's talk about getting laid.
Okay.
No, but in the bio it says you were married, but you were still dating, and it turned out to be a problem.
Yeah,
I guess so.
Well, I was in bands from 15. I was kind of raised by older guys, though they were all 25, 26. Well, I was always the youngest guy in the band.
All right.
And I followed them. How you got laid is you met girls that came up to you after a show, and that was, it took a long time for me to realize that, I was cheating on a girlfriend if I did that. Right. Honestly, it was.
People don't understand. In a band, I guess the lifestyle is so. When I was on the Howard Stern show for a long time, and Roger Daltrey was a guest, and this is in the early 2000s, and Daltrey said to Howard, I've been married since 1968, and he goes, Howard says, how does that work out? And he goes, well, around 1973, I sat my wife down and I said, listen, honey, we have to come to an agreement. I'm the lead singer of The Who. And I think she just got it after that. I mean, and I guess she just rolled with the punches.
Well, I think, I don't agree with an open relationship. It wouldn't work for me, and
it's
it wouldn't
hard.
work for my wife.
Right.
And she knows all she knows what's gone on, and I try and make it up to her. I've been a jerk a lot of time, and she's the best person I've ever known, and I'm really lucky to be with her still, and that she hung in there. And a lot of these songs are, your relationship does this. I've been in a relationship with her for over 30 years.
Right.
And there's a song in there called Our Ship's Sinking, and it's, it's about, the battle of keeping the relationship afloat. And it's a battle. And that's why when we moved to the town we're in, now 90% of the people we knew, the married people, are divorced. And it's an easy out. Sure. And neither of us wanted to take that out because none of them are any happier,
No, I mean, it's like, a woman in your life is an important thing, and you got to think, well, we can be friends, we can be this. It's like, but you're right. As much as some people like to think they're really cool and hip and enlightened, they could deal with an open relationship. Deep down, people are possessive. They don't want.
We're very possessive, and I don't know many people I don't know anyone that's worked with, and that they've, both been okay
Truly
with it.
happy.
You know?
Yeah.
My wife was a huge fan. You know, I can't get her out of sweats and a ball cap, but she perked up tonight and put on the best jeans and nice shirt.
She's a big Rick
When
Springfield.
Rick Springfield's in town. I never seen her so happy. I let her know this afternoon.
Well,
But,
that's nice.
She came in for your book signing, and you got a picture together, right?
We did.
Yes, you did.
Was it hard writing the book, dealing with all that dark stuff?
No, it was really a great release to write it. It was hard
Therapeutic.
when I suddenly realized that people were going to read it.
I know the feeling. Yeah. Yeah, I wrote a book where you go, you can't believe it's in stores. You're thumbing through it. I'm like, oh my God, I said that in the book.
I know. I called up the publishers actually after I'd written it, because I wrote it. I didn't write it with a ghostwriter. I wrote it by myself, and so I only have myself to blame. But I called up and said, I don't want this released.
Did you really?
They're like,
No
that's
kidding.
great.
Yeah, and they said, well, let's talk about
Yeah,
that.
that's a major discussion.
Yeah, but and they believed in the book and released it, and I agreed with it being released. But it was tough for my wife. It was really hard. There's a lot of things in there that upset her, but it's part of my life, and it was it's my life, and if I left holes in there, they would look like holes in a life.
Right.
So.
And we're talking about Late at Night. That's the name of the book,
yeah.
right?
Late,
On
Late
the
at-
New York Times bestseller. I got to ask you one thing about Jesse's Girl. When they used it in Boogie Nights, how did you feel about it? I thought that was the coolest use.
That was the first kind of step away from it just being another hit song. It was when they start to do things like that. I mean, I have no control over that. That's up to the fates, and I think they sang it last night on The Voice. And it's just
It's an iconic song.
it's taken its place,
cool.
and I have it's nothing to do with me. It's just, the fact that I wrote it, but it's nothing to do with me that it goes. That director said this would work really great in here.
Yeah,
It's
and it was a
hilarious.
dark movie.
The
It was
business end of it, it's so funny
That's
that
right.
you don't even get a phone. It's not necessary to even call you if they decide to
They
use
just
it.
No, I know. There was a movie called 13 Going on 30 with Jennifer Garner, and it was built around this girl's fantasy of me.
Right.
And I, like, the movie was written and they were filming it, and they called up and said, "Oh, by the way, we'd like to use the Jesse's Girl video. Can we have your permission?"
Hey,
I
Rick,
guess.
Okay.
We appreciate it, man. We're up against the clock here, but thank you so much for coming in and doing this.
You're very welcome. I'm going to
been,
get up at like 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. I'm going to be
Well, there
playing
you
on
go.
the subway.
There you go.
Really?
Yeah.
Good luck.
On the Guitar Center soundstage, doing his hit single, I Hate Myself, from his brand new album, Songs for the End of the World. Please welcome the great Rick Springfield, everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
My so-called friends all quit without a kiss goodbye. Everybody thinks I'm a creep, so do I. I think they all think that I'm insane. They got the weak link in my chain. I climb on the cross, you can go ahead and crucify me. Because I hate myself, 'cause I want you. I hate myself, I'm a one-man wrecking crew. You're so bad for me, I'm like a dead man walking. So let's connect real soon and get 'em all talking. We'll circle the wagons around your bed. Prove I'm right with everything I've said. I hate myself, 'cause I want you. I hate myself, I'm a one-man wrecking crew. Damn the danger, the scandal too. Burn me down, I'm black and blue. I hate myself.
everybody. He'll be back later to do another number. It's Nick and Artie. We're going to take a break. We'll be back right after this.
Great job.
Welcome back to the Guitar Center soundstage, doing his classic hit, Jesse's Girl. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Rick Springfield. Oh, no!
Jesse is a friend. Yeah, I know he's been a good friend of mine. But lately something's changed, it ain't hard to define. Jesse's got himself a girl and I wanna make her mine. And she's watching him with those eyes. And she's loving him with that body, I just know it. And he's holding her in his arms late at night. No, I wish that I had Jesse's girl. I wish that I had Jesse's girl. Tell me, how can I find a woman like that? I play along with this charade. There doesn't seem to be a reason to change. You know, I feel so dirty when they start talking cute. I tell her that I love her, but the point is probably moot. Cause she's watching him with those eyes. And she's loving him with that body, I just know it. And he's holding her in his arms late at night. No, I wish that I had Jesse's girl. I wish that I had Jesse's girl. How can I find a woman like that, like Jesse's girl? I wish that I had Jesse's girl. How can I find a woman? Where can I find a woman like that? And I'm looking in the mirror all the time, wondering what she don't see in me. I've been funny and cool with the lines. Ain't that the way I'm supposed to be? Tell me, where can I find a woman like that? You know, I wish that I had Jesse's girl. I wish that I had Jesse's girl. I want Jesse's girl. Where can I find a woman like that, like Jesse's girl? I wish that I had Jesse's girl. I want Jesse's girl.
yeah! That's what we're talking about, baby.
Nice.
Yeah.